This is the second half of the Daily Smash.
Part 2 coming at ya.
Part deux.
Part deux. Part deux.
Part deux.
I hope you're enjoying your Cinco de Mayo. We are about to enjoy it even more.
Exactly.
But this is part 2 of our Cinco de Mayo special. Here you go. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button right now, please.
Do the thumbs up for us, please.
Thank
you.
That. And now here's part 2.
So my cousins were like, is someone going to steal this off our patio?
Oh, yeah. So we bought this new furniture to take the place of where that massive thing was in front of our house. And I put it together. This is going to become this. It was so much harder than I thought it was going to be.
All right, getting there.
I put those frames together. And then I didn't show you all the rest of it. But it turned out nice. A couple of old folks.
God, I look so bad. I worked my butt off, though. We were going to go.
You worked really hard. We both did.
Yeah.
And that was... Then I also put a table together. And there are 2 more chairs I have to put together. And I was like, I'm done. I can't do that. And then I wanted to share a clip from the interview with Nik Richie that is out It was out Thursday afternoon, so you can watch it all day Friday at facts.com. Here's a clip of, he asked me my opinion of news today and some of my scariest moments.
Yeah, I was in the industry for 35 years, more if you count the stuff I did behind the scenes before I became a reporter. I see a couple issues, and one is that opinion has infiltrated hard news coverage. So there's way too much, in my opinion on news channels. And then there's the budgetary restrictions and the fact that these networks are trying to do as much as they can, spending as little as possible. They'll spend a lot on the anchors, but then they don't want to spend the money to travel to where the news is. So they'll have the reporter go sit in the studio and read the Associated Press wires and then report on something that's 500 miles away, 6,000 miles away, and it's not the same as being there.
So tell me about that, because you were you were the front lines, like in the field. Were there any scary moments that you've had in your life, like being shot at, or?
Oh yeah, I wrote a book called Chasing Catastrophe, and I highlighted some of the biggest stories of my career and some of the scariest moments of my career. And I was embedded with the Marines in the march up to Baghdad in the Iraq War in 2003, and so we drove into a firefight that went on for almost an hour, full on, machine guns and chain guns and enemy fire coming at us. And there were other incidents during that 9-week trip into Iraq that, that were scary. I covered dozens of hurricanes, and more than once I thought I might die.
So the hurricanes were more scary than the war?
Well, the war was, I likened it to what police officers say their job is like. It's quiet, or firefighters. It's quiet 90% of the time, and then all of a sudden you got to get up and go. And war, like there was a lot of sitting around. It wasn't like you're just engaging the enemy nonstop. That might happen sporadically every few days, and in the meantime, you just traveling to another position, surveying the land.
I thought he asked great questions, and I think the interview turned out really well. And there's a lot more there, so if you want to watch the rest of it, just go to facts.com. I don't have a reel of the day, but I do have an in the news.
In the news.
Your good friend Lisa Vanderpump is closing the Pump restaurant.
That's what she deserves.
Not
if
a
you
fan?
guys don't know what happened, I went out with Vicky there, and I'm the one who ended up, everyone took off and left, and I ended up like forking up the bill. And the guy that was the waiter there was so rude to me and such a jerk. I tipped well.
Yeah, even though he was a jerk.
Yeah. Anyway, I just don't like it there. I think the food sucks. I probably have been there before that 3 or 4 times eating there. I thought the food was horrible.
And the guy accused you of dining and dashing?
Yeah. And so Jeff Lewis and Tori Spelling went to her, and she's like, is there anybody that's not allowed to go back into your restaurant? She's, yeah, Kelly Dodd. She dined and dashed. And that wasn't true. And I had it on my Twitter because they accused me of that back then. and I had it on my Twitter with
You
a
had a
receipt.
picture
I had a
of-
picture of my receipt.
Yeah.
I went back on my Twitter, got the receipt, and I could have sued her for that. That's complete, utter defamation.
It was it was a lie.
It was a lie.
You had the proof that you paid your check
Yeah.
and tipped the waiter who wasn't nice to you.
And by the way, she was such a jerk to me. So so when I first started the Housewives, I told them that I lived in Hong Kong and I lived in China, and I told them that was like, so they got us a trip to go to Hong Kong. We were supposed to go on the trip to Hong Kong. At the last minute, production gave us that trip to Ireland, and they ended up because we filmed first and then Beverly Hills Films. They ended up giving that trip to Hong Kong to Beverly Hills. So when you saw that whole thing with production told me that was our trip, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, what happened with that? And they're like, oh, well, we gave it to Beverly Hills. They have to make Beverly Hills because it was like Orange County's like this redheaded stepchild. You know what I mean? It's like we always felt like we were the underdogs compared to Beverly Hills.
They got all the goodies, and you got the handoffs, the leftovers.
We get just the scraps.
Yeah.
So I saw that whole dog bull crap with Vanderpump was a complete and utter lie. Like they made up that story of like saving the dogs to go to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And I see her we were at an event, and I was with my friend Jack, and we were all at it together, and I said, oh my God, I go, you guys ended up taking our Hong Kong trip. She looked at me and she goes, no, darling. No, that was our trip. And I go, no, it wasn't. I said, it was, I lived there. They got that trip for me to go.
Yeah.
There was a reason why. And she's like, no, it was for my dogs. And I'm like lie, like straight up liar. Anyways.
Well, do you want to hear what happened with the restaurant?
Yeah.
The Pump family tells TMZ it's with heavy hearts that we announced that the lease at Pump is expiring, and we will be closing its doors on July 5th after 10 years of beautiful evenings under our
That's a
olive
long
trees.
time. I mean, that's a good run. 10 years.
It is. It appears a dramatic increase in rent is to blame. While we have loved our time operating Pump, to take on another 10-year lease with a huge increase in rent by the landlords is not something we're ready to commit to. Sources say it was nearly $1 million a year in rent.
Well, sources say that, or allegedly, that she has her house as a pocket listing.
Oh. Well, she does have a couple
Like-
places in she's going to keep it open through June because of Pride Month, and she wants to support the local community with one last hurrah.
Because that's like fun. That part of WeHo,
Yeah.
I've been to those prides. They're fun.
They also have Sir and Tom Tom in the neighborhood, and I guess they have a place in Vegas too.
Well, it's not there. She sold her name, her rights, I guess.
Well, that's all we got for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Please go out there and enjoy your Cinco de Mayo safely.
Wait, how do you say? Tip your waiters.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to take care of your bartenders, waiters, and waitresses, and don't drink and drive because you might spill your drink.
His stripper DJ.
Next on the main stage, Anastasia.
I don't know
Ladies-
why he makes me laugh so much. I'm sorry, you guys. He just cracks me up.
Well,
You just always make me laugh. I have to tell you.
I'm so glad.
Even when you hurt yourself for being that.
When I give myself an owie.
I did it too, and I was doing it lightly, and it was coming off easily.
I was
and I'm like,
bleeding.
why were you banging it so hard?
I was bleeding.
Oh, he's so cute. Anyways, you guys have a smash-tastic Cinco de Mayo.
And thank you guys for your
Yeah,
support.
thank you guys so much for your support. Take care.
See you.